Hi, I'm JJ Leach, and you should go pluck yourself.
I don't know if you guys can tell from my pale skin or the bags under my eyes or the sound of my voice, but I have been hit with the worst flu in the history of flus. So I'm going to have to keep this intro fairly short because I can't breathe. Welcome to Go Pluck Yourself, the Actor's Pursuit. I've been trying to find the energy to record this intro for over a week now. This is the best I've felt in about 8 days. It's the first time I've been able to sit upright. So I'm really sorry for the lack of energy, but please don't conflate that with a lack of enthusiasm because I am really excited to share this episode with you. And that's because my guest this week is not only a very talented actor, but she's also one of the kindest filmmakers that you'll ever meet if you're ever so lucky to be on a film set with her. My guest this week is Jasmine JJ Leach, and I met her way back in 2020 when we were both performing in the Laram Project, and she is an absolute delight. And it's a really interesting chat in terms of understanding the work both in front of and behind the camera, because Jazzy has done both. And I always think that if you can gain a well-rounded understanding of the ins and outs of filmmaking as a whole, whether that's in front of or behind the camera or both, then you're giving yourself a really big advantage. And JJ has used her experience to really strengthen her skills to be the perfect connection between actor and filmmaker, which is an essential quality, especially if you're working as an AD, which is what she does. And just for the record, I did not have the flu when I recorded this chat with Jazz. She's fine, she's healthy. This is weeks afterwards, not to destroy the illusion. Okay, just a little bit of context just before we get into the episode. If you're not totally savvy with film lingo, you will hear us use the term AD quite a lot in this episode. AD stands for Assistant Director, and they basically keep the day on schedule and coordinate everything. And they're also the point of contact for most of the actors. That's a really simplified version of it, but it's a really complicated job. And basically, if a set is running smoothly, you can thank the AD. I also mentioned Red Phoenix, which is the independent theatre company where Jazzy and I met doing Laram Project. We also talk about MAPS, which is the film school that Jazzy and I both went to, but not in the same year. It's not where we met. MAPS is a school that loads of Adelaide filmmakers have gone through, famously the Filippo brothers or the Raka Raka brothers of Talk to Me and Bring Her Back fame. Go Adelaide. Okay, I'm about to pass out, but Jazzy, I'm really sorry that I couldn't be the hype man that your episode deserves. But guys, I promise you that this episode, you guys are gonna get so much out of it. It's a really insightful chat. It's full of really valid advice and interesting perspectives. And I'm gonna let the conversation speak for itself because I can't speak for anyone right now. So without further ado, please enjoy my excellent chat with JJ Leach. You rocked up at my house today.
Yes.
And I was rudely on the phone.
I feel like for someone who is on the phone, you're the least rude I've ever come across.
I did this. Wait. I said 1:15.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
1:09.
You looked at your watch, you're like, no.
Sorry, George. She's here early.
Ugh. And she got out of her car. Go back.
Get back in your car. What? I said 1:15.
Exactly, yeah. And then I was like,
so it was rude of you.
Yeah, it was quite rude of me.
I can't believe you.
Yeah, I came out and I gave you a hug while you were on the phone. You're like, get off
She's
me.
She's hugging me, man.
No boundaries whatsoever.
Does she know you're on the phone? That's what George said. He said that.
Yeah. I said, yes,
George.
I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
All right, start billing
so
now,
make it
I
about
guess.
me.
Yeah. Today's about you.
Today's about me.
Tell me about how we met.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because we met doing a theatre show.
Yeah.
Which is, I haven't done theatre since then. That was the last theatre show I did. Yeah.
Well,
how
you know,
crazy is
because
that?
if you do another one, it might not be as good.
Yeah. Well, I actually had that
it.
fear because that was a really good one. It was like, it kind of reminded me what I really love about theatre. Like I'd done a few theatre shows that I really enjoyed, but that was one. So we did the Laram Project, which is like a drama about like, I mean, it's basically about this horrible thing that happened to a town, and then it's like real dialogue. What's the word? Real
verbatim.
Excerpts? Verbatim, yeah.
Verbatim theatre.
From the town. And it was one of those shows that just like everybody really connected and everybody really cared about what we were doing, and you kind of like you you have this like true ensemble, I think.
Yeah.
Which was really exciting.
It was really special, hey?
Yeah.
Something about that show. I spoke about this last week with Connor, and it was the first time that I really felt connected to a script. And I realized, like, oh, this is why they like it. This is what they get out of it, you know. But before that, I was just kind of saying words on a stage. Yeah. But I learned so much in that process, and I learned so much from everyone that I was working with. Yeah,
it was a really nice one where everyone was kind of helping each other out, especially because it was American accents as well, and it was like very specific areas in the US without any ego, like teaching each other how to do that and then how to get into each character, because we all had like 7 characters each, so you had to have something unique to all of them in like physically, mentally, and all of them had like all these different experiences with this trauma. Like they all had kind of different traumas and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and such a versatile bunch of characters. We're like flipping from these horrible bigots to, you know, one of Matthew's best friends or something.
Yeah.
Just with a quick beat of a change, you know.
Yeah.
It was such a good challenge.
Yeah. I think everyone cared so much about the story, and like what we were saying was really important, and still, even though it's like from what, the 80s?
97, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was still kind of relevant now, and we all just wanted to do it justice for Matthew as well, you know, like we wanted to do a good job for him. As well, I think was kind of like a really driving part. And there was like so many like actors with such big hearts as well. No, it was a really good one where I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to work collaboratively and have so much trust in the people that you're working with as well.
And it was so special.
Yeah, it was a really special time.
What were you doing around that time?
So I was in I was at MAPS.
Oh, yeah. A MAPS girl.
I was a MAPS girl. So I was there like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And then we were rehearsing 3 days a week. And then I think I had to miss a day or two on like some of the short films we were working on because I was at rehearsal.
Yeah.
Because at the start of the year, I was like, oh, I can kind of skip a few rehearsals and I can still do film at the same time. But for this one, I was like, no, I've got to be there at every rehearsal. I've got to be amongst this.
Yeah.
And it was
Well,
nice,
it was kind of impossible not to be at all the rehearsals because chances were you were in one of the scenes because you're playing so many characters.
Yeah.
How many characters did you play?
I think it was about 7.
I think we all had like 7 each, right?
Yeah. And I think it also like knowing what else is happening, because it's all happening in the town, you know, like you kind of want to know the story of what else and how it's affecting other people. And then like, because you'll have certain scenes with certain people and then it's kind of nice to know what their backstory is as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was like a lot that like I was doing a lot. Like, I mean, everything feels important, but it was like that one in particular I felt very grounded, and like none of us got paid to do that. You know, like we all just did it for the love of theatre and the love of like working with other people and trying to say something important.
Do you remember the last show?
I wish I could say yes, but I don't.
Really?
Remind me.
I just remember the feeling coming up to the last scene of the show.
Yeah.
And on stage, I just remember thinking like, oh, this is it. This is the last time we get to tell this story. And whatever I needed to sort of access there, it was purely the fact that I was sad about the show finishing, you know. But I kind of side-eyed a few people on the stage, and I could see in their eyes, they're like, fuck, it's nearly it's nearly over, you know. That bond that we all had, I think. Yeah. Man, I've been like chasing that ever since.
Yeah. I think that, kind of like how you said earlier, like, because it's the last theatre show I did, I was like, I don't know if I can jump into another one that I don't feel so connected with. Like and I think you don't have to be connected that deeply with everything that you do.
No.
But
it's so special when you
really
find
nice.
something, a project like that and an ensemble like that. Yeah. The whole experience was not just fun, but just like special for all of us, I think.
Was the Laram Project the first theatre show that you did? Because I remember you hadn't been acting for a while, right? And then you came back.
I don't think I'd done a play for like 10 years.
Which none of us could really believe. Like I feel like it was one of those things that I kept on being like, no. This guy's way too good. There's no way. He's like, I took a bit of a break. And
I can't use this part.
You did very well, and you're incredible.
You're incredible.
Well, I didn't tell you that so you can tell me I'm incredible.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take the compliment.
Yeah, just take it.
That's very nice.
But, you know, it was like one of those things where I remember, because there was a few people in our ensemble that were like, I'd heard of or seen act before, and you were like this person that kind of came in and was like, who the fuck is this guy?
It's me.
I'm ready to be the big short actor here. And then we saw you act. We were like, fuck, okay, he's an asshole, but he's good.
Yeah,
But he's got it. You can't find him like that anymore.
No, I hadn't done a play in 10 years, but I had done stuff. I'd done like some film, I think. I can't remember.
But film and theatre is so different.
I don't know what the fuck I was doing around that time.
Yeah,
I was lost.
Yeah. Dude,
2020.
That's why I went back to theatre.
Wasn't it a COVID thing for you? Because we'd just come out of, like, the world was kind of starting to open up again.
Yeah.
You know, actually, just before COVID, I was thinking about doing some theatre, and I think I Googled like amateur theatre Adelaide.
Yeah.
And Red Phoenix came up, and I can't remember what show it was. Blue Stockings.
Yeah, which I was in. Yeah.
You were in that?
Yeah.
No way.
That was earlier in the year. So there was Blue Stockings in like, I want to say April-ish, 2021.
Okay.
And then
21,
Laram Project was what, November? No,
I think they auditioned people for it in 2020 before COVID happened. Because I can't really remember this, but like when I checked my emails, and there was like a whole lot of back and forths between like Red Phoenix and me, and they were obviously trying to set up an audition, but it never happened. And then COVID happened, and I thought, that's the end of that. Yeah. But I don't know, like after COVID happened, and like, you know, I was just a mess for a while. Laram Project came up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get back into theatre. And yeah, it was the best thing ever. But also for that 10 years, I don't even know what play I'd done. Maybe high school.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, probably my last play was when I was 18 in high school.
Yeah, wow. You just ran back into it.
Yeah, just jumped back in.
And you did good.
Thanks, man. So, okay. And then what? So you did Laram Project. You were studying at MAPS. Why? What were you focusing on at MAPS?
I wanted to try everything. So my plan was, because basically, so I'd spent like 4 years doing my psych degree. So I, not to brag, but I have a bachelor's in psychological science. Yeah.
No way.
So I did that for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And then I was meant to travel in 2020, and then that didn't happen. So I just ended up working, and I kind of got back into theatre because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And then my psych was like, well, what brings you joy? And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, what did bring you joy? And I was like, oh, I guess I liked acting. So I just kind of like started doing it, like, and doing stuff with Red Phoenix.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then I went into MAPS because I was like, I still have this thing in the back of my head about doing something in film. And I remember one film in particular, so What We Do in the Shadows is my favourite film of all time. And
is that
it's Taika Waititi.
Yeah,
Jermaine
like
Clement.
the vampires.
Yeah, incredible.
So funny.
It's a mockumentary about vampires living in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that came out, 2014? And I was like, oh, this is the kind of film that I'd want to make, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was like, I don't fucking know, whatever. But then I kind of like said, that's a pipe dream. I can never do that. And then after 2020, I was like, I'm going to give film a go for a year. And MAPS was like a really good way that you could practically kind of understand what it was going to be like in the industry, because you're like doing 20 films within the year, and it's all overlapping, and it's like you can have a go at almost anything, and you can kind of like, it's just all run and gun. It's not theory. Whereas
it's very practical.
Yeah. But I was like, I'll do a year of that. And then I just kind of didn't stop.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So where'd you go from MAPS? Did you you did 1 year then?
1 year.
Okay, so where'd you go from that?
Yeah, I mean, what did I do? I feel like I just kind of kept making films. Like I kept on, because I directed a couple times, wrote a couple times, but I really found that producing was where my brain worked the best. Yeah. Because I was like, I'd much prefer to help somebody else like achieve their goal. Yeah. In a way. And it's, you know, it is my goal as well, but it's like I'd much rather deal with the straight line A to B and like this is what's achievable kind of vibe. So I've just kind of been doing that.
So you like the problem solving aspect?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And I love, just kind of like putting all the puzzles pieces together and achieving something that you don't think you might have otherwise been able to. Because I don't feel the need to like there's certain stories in my life that I'm like, I don't feel the need to tell it. Like, whereas some people like really like, I'm really excited to tell this story and all this kind of stuff. And I think similarly with like the Laram Project, I was excited to help tell that story through those characters kind of thing, or like help explain something. And I think producing for me is like I'm helping other people tell their stories.
Yeah, okay. Facilitating that for them.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But do you think that your acting experience has helped you a lot with your producing, because you understand the sort of other approach to, the other angle,
Yeah.
Because someone's coming at it from a really creative side, and then producers are coming from it, still understanding the creative side, but from a more, analytical or.
Yeah. No, that's kind of it. I think more than anything, I think I've found working as an assistant director, I could sympathize more with the actors.
True.
Which was really good. And it was I'm sorry, it was really good.
Yeah. You were really good.
I was really good.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
But it was one of those things where like, I think especially coming from theatre where like, everything. You've worked on it for 3 months. You know exactly what's going on, all that kind of stuff. And then seeing actors in film where it's like they've come onto set. They might have never met the director before. They might have not been able to play with the character, with the director, all this stuff. They don't know what shots we're doing. They don't know a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so as an assistant director, I'm always trying to tell the actors what's going on.
Yeah, which is so important.
Yeah.
Because the director, yes, they are, if you can develop a nice relationship with the director and they have the time for all that, that's all, that's like a holiday.
Yeah,
but the relationship you have with the AD is so essential. And they just make such a big difference to the vibe on a set, And I'm sure you are awesome on a set as an AD. I'm sure you make everyone feel very comfortable.
Well, that's the point. And I kind of feel that as an AD and a producer, I'm like, what I try to do is like deal with all the logistics so that the director and the actors can play, and so that they can feel that they're in this world and they can just play in that world more than anything else. And they don't have to think about that kind of stuff. Like tell them, the logistics of what's happening. We're setting up for this shot. That's why we're waiting, all that kind of stuff. But it's just like the more that people can like indulge in the story and have that freedom to just, it brings me a lot of joy when people are able to kind of relax because they feel that they're in a space where they're being trusted, respected, and they have a good understanding of what's going on, and that they have the time to be able to ask questions and to be able to talk to the director about what they want and what they can achieve together as well, I think is so
that
important.
is so important.
And
just knowing that they have someone to go to, that they feel safe to talk to, and just setting up that safe environment for anyone that you're in contact with on a set, and especially actors, because especially for like day players or even extras, and then conversely people that are less experienced that haven't been on many sets, knowing that there's someone there that they can feel safe to approach and ask the dumb questions. It makes a huge difference, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Because how are you meant to strip all the anxieties away if and move past that and get along with the actual job, which is connecting to your character and being present in the scene? That's really all you want to be focusing on. And there are so many other elements that you don't expect, like all the practical things and the blocking and or the waiting, and the unsure feelings and everything. But having a good AD there. Is that what you're pursuing at the moment?
I kind of I like to do a bit of both because I think I love
producing and AD.
Yeah. I like being able to do both because ADing, you're more amongst everything and you're talking to all the departments a lot, and you're kind of like I love being on set and I love being amongst and knowing everything that's going on. But I also love producing, and when I've been able to create a like have a really good team where I can kind of step back and just, you know, put out fires as they come up and that kind of thing is really nice. And then I can be a bit of a goofball on set, which I love to do on comedies. It's one of my favorite things sometimes to just like be a bit of a menace, but sometimes a bit too much. But
you gotta have fun where it's appropriate, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's part of making people feel comfortable as well, because it can get quite serious and hectic, you know. Yeah.
Which is, I think there's such a line between like you want to take your work seriously, but you also want to remember that we're not saving lives at the same time, you know, like, because I think everyone on a film set is always trying to do the best that they can to do their job in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And I always try to lead with that, even if like someone's taking a long time to do something. I'm like, they're just trying to do their job in the best way possible. You know, and it's like, how can we all work together to help each other out to do that?
Yeah, but you're kind of sitting back and you're observing everyone and making sure that everyone is given the space to do their job, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're in it and you're working on one thing, then you're only focused on that one thing. But to have someone sort of standing back and facilitating everyone and making sure they all get the same space is so important. Sets can be intense. I think, because they can be kind of, they can definitely be intimidating if you're not experienced. But I think for me, like understanding that everyone is focusing on their job, they're not being rude.
Yeah.
They're just working, you know? And they all feel the same. They all feel probably just as terrified as the next person, but they all have a job to do, and so not everyone's going to come in and hold your hand, and be like, "Okay, welcome." I mean, people are very lovely. ADs are great, you know, and you know, people are sweet, but sometimes it can be intimidating, and I observe like other actors, like if it's their first time on a set or extras, or very like, what do I do? But just knowing that everyone feels like that. Yeah. Everyone's a little bit lost and intimidated, especially at first, and everyone's nervous and scared. Yeah. We're all shitting ourselves, you know. But, you know, finding solidarity amongst your peers, you know, extras tend to gather together. Yeah, you know? And do we call them extras anymore? Or, I think we do. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. We do. I thought they changed it to like background actors or something.
Oh, no, maybe they do. 'Cause I was an extra recently for the first time.
Oh, really?
I saw you. You don't remember the one conversation we had recently, a period.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that is okay, but that's the thing. Like when you're on a set, like the day is such a blur. Yeah, I did bump into you on that TV series.
And that was
so nice.
interesting.
You looked great. All the costumes were awesome.
Yeah, it was really
fun,
cool.
Man.
Really cool to wear that. And it was interesting being amongst a lot of like fresh actors as well, and seeing what their experience was being on set. And a lot of them cared so much about the project and so much like often like people think that extras are just trying to get their big break, and they're just, and you know, you get people like that who are just like, you know, like, I don't know, try to get as much screen time as possible.
Yeah, I know. They
which is kind of funny,
shuffle to the front.
Amazing. Yeah.
You're like, it's not about you, man, but you look good.
Fine. But there were so many people, and I feel like I like to think this is a bit of an Adelaide thing. Like I think Adelaide like sets are really lovely and everybody cares a lot, and you tend to weed out the assholes pretty easily. But it was interesting seeing all these extras that just really cared so much about like even just the continuity, and they were like trying to be on top of the continuity so much. Yeah. And like they would be like, oh, I should ask like the AD this, I should go, and like incredible ADs that had all the patience in the world. And it was, so many of them were like, oh, but the continuity isn't quite right here. I was like, we'll be okay. Yeah. It's fine. They'll tell us where to go. Everyone. Yeah.
But that, you know, it's really good of them to like be aware of that continuity, because that really is like, I'd say the main part of the job.
100%.
As a background extra. Because the ADs are not going to pick up on all of that, you know. No, when there's 100 of them, they're not going to be able to, you're not going to have it work out. Yeah. Make sure you're doing the same thing in each of the takes. Yeah, that's really good. And if you're at that point when you're getting work as an extra, you just
want experience on a set, it's a great opportunity because you have a front row seat to the action.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
if I was, I mean, I did extras work when I was younger, like when I was a teenager, and that was my opportunity to just observe like how a set was run. Don't make it about you. No. Just watch and do your job. You know, I always say like with extras work, if someone says like, how do I get into film? I'm like, start as an extra, get on a film set. And the two rules as an extra, but the rules are don't look at the camera and do as you're told.
And do as you're told. Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. It was more exhausting than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Because there was lots of standing around. A lot of like you don't know what's going on, so you're kind of you're ready the whole time. Yeah, I think extra work, it's not valuable as an actor to learn how to act, but it's valuable to understanding how film sets work.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going into an extra role thinking this is going to help me become a better actor.
No, it's not the place to learn how to act.
No.
It's just a front row seat.
Yeah, which is so valuable. Even like as like an AD producer, I was like, this is so valuable to understand how this is all, how everything is moving together. Because a lot of it was like what I've already done just on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
But it was, really nice to be able to sit back and actually watch it rather than like, because usually if I'm on a set, I've got all these responsibilities. Whereas for this, I'm just sitting around and I'm like, oh, they look stressed.
Yeah.
I wonder why they're stressed.
Yeah. Not my problem.
Not my problem. But I'll stand and walk wherever you need me to stand and walk.
Yeah.
And I'll try to explain to the other extras what's going on so that you don't have to.
Yeah. See, that's that solidarity. It's so good. If you're doing extras work, you're going to be feeling quite nervous because it's probably one of your first sets, I guess. I don't know. There are people that do it like for a living, right?
Well, I mean, when there's enough work going around, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad work to just, every now and then just be around on a set.
Yeah.
Why not?
And also all those extras that you meet, you'll all start moving up together and gaining more experience together, and you build a nice community.
Yeah,
and you take that community to the next sort of step of that career. You know? And next thing you'll be doing, big scenes together. Yeah.
I feel like for me as well, just like, I mean, there's some extras that are just like retired people that like, they're just like, I'll do this for a day, or like, people who aren't necessarily actors, but are like, I'll be a body for a day, that's fine. But I think for me as well, because I'm helping out with a short film at the moment and we had just put out auditions. Okay. So then I got to see all these people that had been emailing me recently. Yeah. And I was like, this is nice to be able to work with you for 3 days because I think a part of getting roles is also, are you going to be a nice person to work with? Not just, are you the best actor in the room? Are you like, do I want to spend 12 hours a day?
People don't understand how big of a thing that is. Like, are you a nice person? Are you reliable? Are you going to be a professional?
Yeah, I think, and also like weirdly enough, and it didn't really happen too much, but every now and then like I'd hear conversations from people where I was like, you don't have enough sympathy to the people working here. It was a bit of, oh, this isn't done well, this was better on another shoot I was on, and I was like,
okay, wow,
cool. I don't like that mentality because everyone's like kind of going back to my thing where like everybody's here trying to do the best that they can with what they're given.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like if you have an extra going like they're not doing enough here and I'm going to tell you how it's better on this other set.
You can just not be on this set if you want.
Literally.
You can just go.
Yeah, you can go. Nobody's forcing you to. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to put that in the back of my brain. If you're going to audition for me, I'm going to hope that you have like a better attitude towards the crew who are all working their asses off.
Yeah.
Like it's like, I know everybody's working hard. Like that extra was working really hard and they did a great job. But it's like, don't forget that everybody else is also working really hard.
Don't come onto a set and point out all the flaws on the set. There's always going to be something.
Yeah.
There's going to be issues that someone is dealing with in the background that you don't know, but don't come on and complain about.
Yeah. And I think especially if you're like coming into like smaller budget productions, at least for me, I try to the vibe on set is one of the most important things, because the last thing I want to have is people regretting coming onto a set, especially if they're not being paid or they're not being paid a lot.
Yeah.
Then it's like the least that I can try to give people is a good time on set and feel like they're valued, their work is valued, and they're proud of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
especially with those small budget things, people come on to it thinking they're going to get a trailer or something, and they're going to get treated like Leonardo DiCaprio or something, you know. Just be grateful that you're part of something. We're all in this because we are passionate about the project, and we are all figuring it out too. Still, you know, we're all learning always. You know, even though we're professionals, we are still learning.
One thing that I kind of keep in mind is that even as the budgets get bigger, there's still never enough money, you know, in a way, because you're trying to stretch the budget as much as you can. And it's like, okay, there's a bigger budget, but we're doing bigger stunts or something. Like there's always, you always feel like every department could always do with a little bit of something else or a little bit of something, you know? So it's this weird thing where like, even though things get bigger, it still feels like we're all just kind of learning and like working with what we've got, even if what we've got is a better camera than what we had last week. We're still working with the same creative problem solving that you would in a smaller budget, you know, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I think the mentality is, no matter what your position is on a set, if you're an actor or part of the crew, everyone is making a film. Like we're all making a film. You are a filmmaker. If you're an actor, you're part of that filmmaking process, you know. So come into it with the mindset of solving problems, not finding problems. You know what I mean?
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. We'll put that on a mug. You can buy that on our website. It's a big mug.
It's a big mug.
I think, there are people that come on and point out the flaws in a set. And sometimes there are flaws in a set.
Not sometimes, there always is.
There always
There's always
is.
gonna be flaws.
There's always there's politics, there's bitchiness, you know, it's all there.
Yeah.
Don't be part of that shit. Just go in and solve the problems that you're able to solve. Stay in your lane, you know.
Yeah.
It's very important to and
I think being grateful as well. And it sounds weird, like sometimes it's really fucking hard and you don't want to feel grateful. Like I totally get that. You're allowed to like be annoyed about certain things on set. But I think like I constantly try to be grateful that I'm able to do something in the industry and that, you know, I'm able to do it with such an incredible team as well. I think you kind of look around you and you're like, we're all able to be here, and that's kind of incredible.
And you know what you're getting out of it though. Like there's a reason why you're working some jobs for free, and you don't do everything for free. I know that. But there are certain things you're like, okay, I understand what this project is. I understand that it's very low budget and everyone's doing this for nothing and I don't have to do it.
Very true.
Do you know
That's
what I mean?
actually a really good
you don't
thing
have to do
remember.
that. And yes, you know, set a standard for yourself. But you know, I'm a little bit flexible with that because I do a lot of student films and I do a lot of things for free because I still recognize that I need to practice, you know, and any opportunity I can get on a set and try something that where the stakes are a little bit lower, you know, that's really important for me. So all those things like student films or amateur theatre, I'm all for them because I'm meeting the community and I get to try things that maybe I would feel less comfortable trying on a higher stakes project. But then my standards are also, if you're going to hire me for a commercial, you better bloody pay me.
Yeah.
And if I know there's a massive budget on a project and you're hiring me for my acting services, you know, I'm not doing that shit for free. But they wouldn't do that anyway. You know what I mean? So it is about understanding what each project is and what we're all in it for. You know, we like making things. Yeah. You know? And the way it works in Australia is not the way it works in the US, you know. There are no budgets here, you know. We are scrounging to get funding for anything, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you want to create opportunities for yourself to make things, expect that you're not going to make any money out of it, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But know your standards, you know, understand your standards. Don't let people walk all over you. Don't, you know, if you don't want to do favors for people, don't do them. But understand what you're getting out of that project.
Yeah. I think it's really good to be able to have that mentality of I'm choosing to do this project, not I have to do this project.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, these are the reasons why I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
And this is like, you know, where your line is like, okay, I'll do this commercial, but I'm not going to do it if I'm not going to get paid X amount, you know, or I'll do this project because I want to work with these people. Because there's times that you're like shooting outside in the rain. You're like, what am I doing here? You know, you like, so I've asked myself on set so many times, what am I doing here? And if you've thought about it a little bit beforehand, you can be like, oh yeah, no, that's why I'm here. No, I remember now. No, it's okay. And I can continue, and you can kind of go into it with a good attitude because, you know, sometimes it just takes a few little, like everyone having a shit day and then everybody, you know, it just seeps into everybody,
spreads,
you know, and it's like, if you can just try to keep everybody in a, it's such a.
Yeah, you can set the tone. And if it starts to shift, you can, you know, just maintain that. That positive energy, you know. No, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm here because I love it, and it's a privilege to be able to do this. Even for free.
Even for free,
I mean? Like how lucky we are to be able. This is how we spend our spare time.
Even this is just like incredible that we're able to do this, and it's awesome.
Very lucky. Yeah.
Do you have anything that's like the reason why you act or you make films or you like do podcasts? Is there something about the industry that like is the reason why you do it?
Well, there's a reason why I do it. Acting is something I found that I latched onto because I got so much fulfillment out of it. Okay, when we're kids, we play, right? And then at some point in our lives, we forget to play. We stop playing and we work and we go to the pub and drink, and that's our play, right? And for so long, I was just kind of lost in that void of like, what the fuck do I do for enjoyment? I don't know what I like anymore. And yes, there were moments where I like play music full time, and that was really, really fun and fulfilling. But when I stopped singing because I had some vocal issues, then I was really like, I don't know who I am anymore. Because I didn't have a creative outlet, and I also didn't have a community. And then I worked for many years, like in banks, and I worked at TFSA, and I worked in a warehouse for 3 years. Oh, wow. And I left those jobs when I did Laram Project. And I started my own business so I could be flexible and free to take on acting work. And I quit drinking 5 years ago.
Fuck yeah.
It lines up exactly when I started Laram Project. Oh. But I found something that I can obsess over. But I feel so fulfilled doing this, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. It's all that goes through my head all the time. And I started the podcast because I want to talk about it all the time. Yeah. And I'm like, I might as well film it, you know. But it was a chance for me to play again and be creative and meet friends. And I think for a few years, I don't think I could name a friend. Do you know what I mean? Like I was just, you kind of get a bit lost as an adult. Like you don't remember how to just connect with people unless you go drinking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's such a good point.
And then it's not a real connection.
No.
But finding something that you really are passionate about, or finding something that allows you to be authentic around other people, that was huge for me. So that's why I do it, because I just really like, we're all on this journey together. And we're all sort of getting the same thing out of it, I think. So we all have so many things in common, and we're all just as deluded as each other, you know?
Yeah, it's the group delusional. Yeah.
But now I really like, if I didn't have this, I don't know. That scares me a lot. And now AI scares the shit out of me, because I watch a video of like VO3 and I'm like, no one's asked for this shit.
Yeah.
And like, I need this. Yeah. Don't take this away from me. But then I think about like, if I compare that to the music industry, and there's shitty factory pop music out there that exists and it hasn't replaced real music, you know? So you can watch fake videos if you want, but I don't think the general population is going to take that on, you know?
Yeah, there's always going to be.
You can't replace like theatre, you know?
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah.
But it scares the shit out of me. Because I can't have this taken away from me. You know?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Yeah. I think there's always going to be something that like, because people can like tell the difference between like a vinyl record and a CD, you know, like you can't really.
It's the size. It gives it away. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, I thought it was something else.
You ever try to play a vinyl on a CD player?
It doesn't work.
That's where you know you've...
Oh, okay. It doesn't. Yeah,
Doesn't
okay.
go in, yeah.
And that's how you work out. Because you can't work it out before then. There's no way to compare
There's no way to know.
But then you put it next to it and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this isn't.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, but I do this because like I found a community and it's given me a chance to play, and I need something to do. Like
Yeah,
it's given me something that I like. If you find something that you're really passionate about, and you're privileged enough to be living in the country where that is possible,
Yes. Yeah.
do it.
100%.
Like, yeah. I mean, I found something that I really love, and I didn't know what things I loved for a long time, you know? So I've latched onto this thing that I really love, and I'm around the people that I really love. And I feel so lucky to have found that, you know?
Yeah. I remember it was like a concept that I hadn't even thought of before, where my mum had said something about how like she was, and it wasn't like a jealousy, but it was just like an acknowledgement of like she's not someone that really found her passion in life. And that's not to mean that she's like sad or anything like that. She did a job that she could do with people that she liked.
Yeah.
But she never had anything that she's like, I'm deeply passionate about this thing and that's going to be my career and that's going to be all this kind of stuff. And she's like, it's really cool when people find that. And I was like, fuck, that is like, it's special to be able to find that. And not only is it something that you're passionate about, but something that you're capable of doing because of your circumstances of doing, because of your skill set as well, you know, like a two different
But you care
things.
about it, and that's why you want to get better at it. Like I want to do it, and so I have to get good at it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I can't do it.
Yeah.
But even still, you can do it at any level. You can do a play and just like have fun.
That's all part of
But
the
still
process.
enjoy the community and enjoy like putting yourself out there and having a go at something, you know.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with like doing this. I'm like I have to get pretty good at it, I think, you know. To be able to sort of stay in it.
And you have to be okay with being not good at it to start off with and kind of go through that.
Oh, yeah.
I saw some like quote from like Bill Hader recently that was like something about acting is really embarrassing and any form of art is really embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to get past that. And then you can do some really cool stuff.
It's
It
is very embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed for you.
You're embarrassed. No, you should be.
Yeah. I'm deeply embarrassed.
No, but it is. It's like
It's this kind of vulnerable thing exposing you.
If you can get through that and understand that, yes, this is going to feel weird, it's going to feel embarrassing, and all those thoughts are going to be there. If you can get through those, though, once you've done it and you've made something, people will go, "That was cool, man," and you'll be like, "Thank God," because it felt awful. You know, it felt awkward and embarrassing, and I didn't know if it was right.
I remember I had an actress come in for an audition once, and we were going for the second, like, you know, the actor comes in with what they give a go with a role, and then the director gives notes, and then the director was like, okay, cool, like, have you got those? You're happy to give it another go? And she was like, yeah, sure, we'll just see what happens, kind of thing. And I was like,
that's it, eh?
That's such a good mentality to have, because it was like, I'm going to take it on, but I'm also relinquishing some level of control in a way where it's just like, we're just going to see what happens. And if it's what you want, it's what you want. If it's not, then I'm just not the right person for it, kind of thing. Because I think so much of acting, like, people think that they have to be the best actor in the room, but that's such a, not a small amount of it, but that's one part of getting a role and keeping that role is being a good actor. Whereas I think the other part of it is what you naturally bring to it and what you look like.
Yeah. I don't think they are always going for the best actor, though.
No. Good
I don't think
casting directors aren't going for the best actor.
They're going for who's right for that role
Yeah.
and whatever circumstances fit around that role. You know, like you might not be right for a role right now, but at another point in your life you are.
Yeah,
because you can access whatever it is you need to access for that person. You know, if you can empathize with that person at this time in your life with your experiences so far, you know, then you might be right for it. But at other points, like, I mean, I didn't act for like 10 years because I wasn't able to. you know?
Yeah.
I was not in the right headspace to be able to access any of that.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's like whatever your experiences are and what you're going for and how that, whether you're bringing it consciously or unconsciously, whether that's what the director is looking for or not. I mean, they might not even think they're looking for something, and then you might, for whatever reason, because you've been able to access something or because you have been through whatever, you naturally bring that with you, and they don't know what it is, but they're like, that's perfect for that role. You know,
they're looking for something real.
Yeah.
And if you can bring something real, then you might surprise them, you know?
Yeah.
I think they want to be surprised with authenticity.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I think being a bit comfortable as well is always helpful. What is it? There's this, feel like I keep quoting people now, but Jason Bateman has a quote that he uses a lot.
Love
on the
him,
Smart
man.
List.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah. Say it.
Sexy indifference.
That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was almost going to say it at the same time, but I got embarrassed. I was like,
we could have had a Connor Pullinger moment.
And then I thought, what? I know. And I was like, I'm going to get it mixed up. I'm going to say in deference. Sexy. And I was like, that's not right.
Deference, sexy. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, it's this, like, I think that's the same mentality of like, oh, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like you said, like being able to play, that we haven't been able to do that since we were kids. Like, it's that kind of sexy indifference of like, I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to see what I can bring, but I'm, not going to be too in my head about it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I think is a really good mentality to have. And means that I think as well, like, if you bring that to an audition, you're going to bring that to the day almost, like, because I think in a way you want to put in a lot of work into your roles, right? Because you can tell the difference between someone who's created a whole backstory and someone who has just read the surface level of what a character is going to be. Like, there's always a lot of work that goes into it, but I think there's also naturally what you bring to the role. So I think
everyone works in a different way, and on some jobs and for some people, you need to spend a bit more time on it, you know, and learn more about this person that you're trying to figure out, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And other times you can just rely on instincts, you know. But I work very differently to a lot of other people, and we all do, you know. Some people really put in a lot of analytical work. And when I do that, it does help, you know, and sometimes you're given a lot of backstory that's not even going to be shown in the narrative, but it's there and it does help. But it's communication from like the writer or the director, like, this is who this person is, you know, we're not going to show any of this in the story, but it's just going to help you. So whatever happens on the day, you're coming at it from the right angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to control it too much is where people, I don't know.
I think that's
I really don't want to be. I don't want to tell people how to do it, you know, because it is so different for everyone.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, but I feel, I don't know. I just have this like thing of where I see actors go for roles that I'm like, I see them setting themselves up for failure, you know, in a way, and I see these actors that could be fantastic, but they just keep putting themselves up for roles that I don't think are perfect for them. If you can understand who you are and what you're, I think, naturally bringing that, I keep coming back to this because it's like there's only so much acting that you can do, you know, in a way where it's like you can have all of that work behind you and it's never wasted work. But I think if you're putting in all of this work for a role that is just not going to be right for you, like I'd hate to see that with actors, and then they like, why am I not getting roles, why am I not succeeding? And it's like you have this avenue that you can succeed in, but you're setting yourself up for failure. You know, if they find what they can do and where their voice is best translated or whatever, I think everybody can do an incredible job. But it's just, and like a lot of it does have to do, I think, with how you look, unfortunately. But there's this like Scottish actress that's like, she always gets these roles as a villain and as a witch and all this kind of stuff. And there's this quote from her where she's like, I was blessed with this face that is great for these roles. And she's not mad about it. She's not gonna be the sweet person in a lot of stuff. And it's kind of like, you kind of have to accept that, I think, and kind of go, okay, this is where I'm going to succeed the best, because as an actor, you're rejected so many times.
It's it's a cliche, but you know, that whole you are enough kind of thing, you know, start with yourself, you know, because what they want is to see a real person, and you are already a real person, you know.
No, that's so true.
You don't have to try. I don't think you need to go too far beyond that initially. Well, I don't know ever. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
I think
I bring myself to every single role,
literally,
you know, even if it's very different to who I am. And I might not agree with the character's values, but I could connect with how they got there or relate it to something else that isn't so horrible, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I could understand what it's like to feel lonely, and that's why he's acting out against these people.
Yeah.
So, but that's me bringing myself to that experience and being like, okay, if this was my circumstance, if this was my education, I could understand what this might feel like, you know?
Yeah,
I don't have to agree with it.
Yeah, you don't have to like every character that you're portraying, but you can understand them. It doesn't mean you forgive them, but you can have a level of understanding to them, I think. And allowing yourself to be a little bit in that character, especially when you've got something like film acting where it's like it's really zeroed in on. It's like an X-ray. The lens can see through like everything in a way. If you don't allow yourself to like love yourself enough to be able to have that scene, then you're always going to have a level of mask in your acting, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of have to let a little bit of yourself in and love yourself a little bit, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If we talk about loving yourself, that was a big shift for me, you know, and probably why I couldn't do it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to go too deep on that. But you know what I mean? Like it was accepting yourself.
Yeah.
That's not an easy boundary to get over for anyone, you know?
Yeah.
It's such a journey, man. But I think the closer you can get to even just understanding yourself, you know, we don't have to get to some place of enlightenment.
No.
To express yourself in any sort of artistic way. But just understanding the way you work.
Yeah.
At this point in your life.
Yeah. And accepting.
You can't wait
flaws
until you're perfect.
Yeah,
in your own eyes before you can start something, you know?
Yeah, accepting your flaws, I think, is a big part of it. And that, understanding yourself. And it's like, it's not something that you're going to wake up one day and be like, oh, I know myself completely and now I can act. It's just being able to kind of continue to have that conversation with yourself or something, you know, that you can like continue on and like have some sympathy for yourself or like understanding.
It's caring for yourself and understanding that, okay, today I'm anxious because sometimes I get anxious. So my disposition needs to be a little bit awkward. And I might not be as talkative today.
Yeah.
But that's okay because people get it. And my other mode is like kind of manic and like, hey, go on, you know, but I need to be like that today.
Yeah,
you know, like because I feel okay or maybe I'm masking something, but just understanding my modes is big for me. And like if I'm in a social situation and I'm not feeling so talkative, I can still be there and just be like, well, I might not talk as much and I might just listen today, but and I might be really overbearing on the next one, you know. That's just me understanding how I work, you know.
Because you're not the same every day as well, and you've got to forgive yourself for that as well. Like I think for me, sorry, I feel like I've interrupted your thought, but
no, that was the end.
That was the end. That was it.
Thank God you interrupted.
Because I have like this thing about like sometimes when I meet people at like networking events or at like parties, there's something about that environment that generally I end up being that like bigger personality or that like because I do get a lot of energy from people. So I kind of go into this mode. I'm like, oh, there's this person and there's this person. And then we're like, I'm like, oh my God, that's the best idea I've ever heard.
I'm like that too in those situations.
And it's so
and then
much
I get in the car, I'm like, Fucking calm down, Chris. Like, Jesus.
I was like, did I just yell at a lot of people? Like, what?
That sounds great. That sounds great. Yeah.
But then I get worried about like, oh, this is, if people mostly see me in that mode, that's what they're going to expect. And like, even in like a working environment, in like a friendship, in a relationship or whatever, I'm just like, I have to be that all the time for them now. And then you kind of have to go, wait, no, I'm a fully fledged person.
Yeah.
This is one mode. I have other modes where I'm like more anxious. And it's just, understanding a bit more about yourself, I think, is always going to be helpful in any aspect of your life, that you can kind of go, okay, this is what we're feeling at the moment. I'm acknowledging that. I'm, going to act accordingly for myself and also for other people, that it's like your emotions are always valid. Yeah. But it's what you do with that, your behavior from that. Like if I go to a networking event, I'm like, I'm feeling really flat and I don't think I'm going to be able to get to that manic stage where I can like talk to everyone and remember their names. And it's like, okay, I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm like, I'm having a low day, but I'm going to continue. And it just means that like, I'm going to ask people more questions so I can listen more, like you have a behavior that can help you get through it kind of thing, rather than being like, well, I feel shit, so people are going to have to deal with me being shit today. It's like, well, I should be having...
asking someone about them. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Whoa, crazy.
Wow. Imagine being curious about how someone else is going. Genuinely. And then listening to their answer. Sorry, I zoned out. What?
Yeah, and then you listen to the, hey. And then, so the other part is, right, that you're listening with your ear. Yeah.
Okay. Slow down.
There was too many things.
But you are grateful to be in an industry where you have a community.
Yeah. And I think, there's so many different areas of film that you can work in. And I've made my peace with the fact that I don't know exactly where I'll end up. Yeah. But I think I'll end up around people that I like. Because you work it, like I said, like you're working so many hours. Yeah. I don't want such a big part of my life to be like, you get to the end of the day and you're like, oh, thank God I'm at my real life now. Yeah. It's like, no, the whole thing is meant to be your life.
Do you what else do you do? What's your real job?
My real job. The one that actually pays.
Do you love that question? Yeah.
I work in retail.
Don't say it like that. You have a job.
Fine. I have a job. And I am grateful
I clean
for that
toilets.
Job. Yeah.
Not just toilets.
That's
the worst part.
Hey, you clean a lot of things.
I'm good at it.
Yeah, and I am also grateful for that job because I can I can do it without thinking too much. It's very flexible hours. I get discounts on things like hard drives that I can
get discounts
buy
for friends?
100%. Yeah. I'm buying
100% discounts. Great.
100%. That's called stealing.
Yeah. How often are you on a film set?
I have a project like every 2 to 3 months. Yeah, I would say. Early September is the next time I'll be shooting. Right. And I might jump on other stuff in between, but that's the next one I'm helping produce and I think AD as well. Yeah. Like, I'll have a time where I'm like, oh shit, I don't have anything for the next 2 or 3 months, but something will come up. Yeah.
So where can you go from here? Like, what would that next sort of journey or that next step look like?
I need to get on long form. That's my goal for the year, is to get on a long form where I'm doing more than like a month or so.
Like as an AD or a producer?
Either, really. So I need to get either into the production office, which would be something to do with producing, or as an AD, which would probably be like a third or something. I've been hired as like a field producer on certain things, which has been helpful, but that's very much more commercial work. And but I think if you can kind of weirdly market yourself on film sets where you're just like, well, it's kind of weird to put into conversation, but sometimes people are really curious, and if you're doing your job right, then they will want to talk to you and they'll want to see how they can utilize you in the future. And if you make it clear that this is where you want to be in the future, then they'll... At least that's my theory. It's kind of hard to know if this is going to work. Like, I feel like a lot of what I do is like taking chances on people that, like, I'm almost like investing in these projects because I'm investing in the people as well. And I'm like, okay, if this producer that's co-producing with me, or this director or this DP, if they then get opportunities, they'll bring me with them, as well. Or like, it's always the more work I do, the more I know people as well. So it's like,
that's the big thing with experience, isn't it? Because it's like you're building connections. you're networking on the job, you know,
Yeah.
because when you're there in it, when you're on set or in the production office, that you're not just keeping to yourself necessarily. You are authentically, you know, having conversations with people and being curious about what their goals are and sharing your goals with them too. And hopefully you can help each other out down the track and rise with the tide, you know, without being a ladder climber, you know?
Yeah.
Are you in this for the right reasons?
Yeah.
Are you going to step on other people's toes to get higher up the ladder, you know?
Yeah. I had
so
someone who I got on as a runner for the short film we just did, and I met him for a day on that TV show that I was an extra on. I met him as the bus driver for all the extras.
Really?
Chatted to him for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, because I was still trying to find extras, and Nicole Schoen, who we love, she was on set asking people, being like, who wants to be on this, like as an extra and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, awesome.
This guy had emailed me and he's like, hey, happy to be an extra, also happy to help out because I've been doing unit on this thing. And I was like, I remember you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you had a really good vibe. And I was like, yeah, no, definitely. Come on, if you want to do extra days, I'll have you as a runner. And like, I was chatting to him and he was like, why did you like trust me to? I'm like, you were
capable. Nice.
You were nice. You were capable at your job. You were nice. I trusted you. And it was just like this weird thing. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't always work out perfect, but it's just like that, even just that 5-10 minutes of interacting with someone and seeing that they're on top of their shit and that they're nice can do a lot for you. Yeah.
That's gold.
Thank you.
That was all gold.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm not good at segues. Okay, what's something how can we bring this up?
Would you have like a thing that you always end on, that you always ask everyone for their advice, or no?
No.
It's just
I want the advice to be
natural, organic. Okay.
I don't want to be the advice guy. And but I was making
true.
content which was just advice.
Yeah.
And I didn't post any of it. I made heaps of it.
Yeah.
It's
You don't have all the answers.
I don't, and there's not one way to do it. You know?
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
And it's not my business to tell someone how they go about it because I didn't follow any of the rules.
Very true,
You know?
actually.
I came at it from a different angle. So
I think like you said, like most things where you're like trying to give someone advice and you're trying to help someone in the industry, because I think you'll come across it always. Like I think whether it's on set, whether it's out and about, where it's a networking thing, everybody wants to know advice and know how to do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's just about gathering a bunch of information and being like, I'm gonna try some of these.
Totally.
And whichever one works. And I think the more that you just understand everybody's experiences and how they feel and how they et cetera, it's like then you just kind of work out what works best for you.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you get notes on a script where you're not just going to take the notes from one person and use them as gospel. You get notes from a bunch of different people. And if like 10 people all kind of have this similar note, then you're like, maybe I'll take that one on board.
Yeah.
But you don't have to take on all of them.
No.
That's how I feel anyway.
Because it might not register with you.
No,
you know?
yeah. So you have like advice and then you pull from that in the moment what you think is going to work. You know, you give yourself all the tools to then be spontaneous, be present and be malleable with your goals and malleable with where you're heading and just kind of.
Yeah, well, it's like there are so many different schools of thought for acting. You can learn about them all and pick and choose.
Yeah, exactly.
You might not even be aware that you're picking something. You're just accessing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I learned how to act because I listened to a lot of podcasts. Like that was honestly like, and like considering different points of view and then being like, right, I need a film set because I want to try something. I mean, I like acting advice, but I don't necessarily take it all. And same with direction. Like if I have a conversation with my director and they say something to me that doesn't fit with the way I work, it just means the conversation needs to keep going a little bit and be like, okay, so what you're saying is this is sort of where we're going with this. And then I'll try to word it in the way that works for me. And if that aligns with their vision, you know, then we're onto something.
Yeah.
You know, it's about figuring out what works for you, understanding yourself again, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can have the clear communication on that.
And really being malleable is really important because everyone's going to approach it differently and every director is going to come at it from a different angle.
Yeah. And
some directors might give you heaps and some might give you nothing. and
Very
both
true.
are fine.
Yeah, yeah.
know?
There's so much unpredictability in the arts, in working in a film set, there's so much that's like, you can plan the perfect set in the world, but something's always going to change, So it's like, having those tools ready so that you can be malleable and you can be adaptable and be okay with that and not too scared of that as well.
Yeah.
I think is really good.
Yeah, because you don't really have control over it.
No, yeah. You got to let go of a lot of control, I think, in working in any department in film, because there's only certain aspects that you can have an impact on. And I think being able to see it as something that you can have an element of letting go, I think kind of frees you to be able to play, to be able to be adaptable, where you're like, I don't know which take they're going to use, but that's okay. Like, I'm just going to play and have a go and trust that they're...
Give them options, Yeah. It frees you up from trying to get it right and trying to control what this thing is, because you might not know the vision.
Yeah.
The director they might know it, or they're figuring it out, or they might figure it out in the edit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And you just don't have control over any of that, and that's fine. You know?
That's actually okay.
It's very freeing, I think.
Yeah.
Jazz, this is really fun.
This was really fun.
So where can we find you on socials?
So you can find me at JJ Leachy, so JJLECHIE.
Awesome.
On Instagram. That's where I put everything, and there's a little link tree on there if you want to see what I've been working on.
Yep. And if there are any producers out there,
please hire
or
me.
anyone looking for an amazing AD who's going to make their actors feel very safe, JJ.
That's the idea. And everybody feels safe.
Thanks so much for being here, man. This is really, really sweet. I'm so glad you're here, and all your insights and your thoughts are gold.
Oh, that's
it's
so
awesome,
nice.
man.
Thank you so much for having me. I was so honored that you asked me to be on here and have a chat with you, and it's just nice excuse to catch up.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
I'm just catching up with my mates. Yeah, this is good.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, man.
That was a sweet one, right? Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out JJ Leach on all socials. I've got to go rest my voice and try not to cough, because I am shooting a movie in 4 days. And if I don't have a voice by then I'm proper fucked. So take it easy, guys. You know the drill. Share, follow, subscribe, show all the love. Follow us on Instagram at GoPluckYourselfPod, or follow me at featuring_Chris_Gunn. If you want to support the show, you can do so by going to patreon.com/GoPluckYourselfPod to keep this thing going through sickness and in health for as little as $5 a month. Thank you so much for anyone that's already contributed. You guys are the true MVPs. Theme music is by my totally dope cousin Nick Gunn. You can check him out on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Nick Gunn. My name is Chris Gunn. I'm going to go take a nap. And hey, go pluck yourself.